Yo, what's good? It's Gano. This nigga sabotaged his own karma. Do y'all realize, look, aside from all this shit that's out there, they have nothing on D-Thing. That D-Thing situation, they don't have nothing on that. Now, you forget about what they saying about snitch. That shit is after the fact. They got informants, but they have no direct evidence linking Durk, to that situation. They get back for D-Thing. That's not what. If this nigga had not moved on that Quando Rondo situation, this wouldn't happen. Like, he'd be straight. I mean, trust me, his name is involved. It's swirling around a lot of speculation, a lot of issues that's going on, back in Iraq, particularly with his brother's murder or the a vengeance of his brother's murder. But there is no direct evidence at all. If that was the case, he would have been locked up years ago. This all stemming from this shit with Vaughn. And he fucked his karma up. Vaughn got what Vaughn had coming to him. And that's no disrespect to, it is what it is. That was Vaughn's karma. Y'all do realize, y'all really think Vaughn was gonna live out the rest of his life and on some Snoop shit? Like, grow old and be one of the, no. Vaughn was gonna get killed sooner or later. Or locked up for life. Because from what I understand, they had him on some bodies. He just, got killed himself before they brought them cases. But so Vaughn was, if you want to call somebody a crash dummy, it was Vaughn. Vaughn was the crash dummy. I mean, I know y'all love Vaughn and y'all idolize him and woo-woo, but Vaughn was a crash dummy. And Vaughn was going to take down everybody around him. And not purposely, just that's what crash dummies do. By default. As soon as Durk started getting involved with Vaughn, nigga, it fucked your shit all up. The shooting in Atlanta. These other different situations. And now the get back for Vaughn. When I understand D-Thing. I understand that. Ain't nobody gonna stand here and say, you know what I'm saying, dude was, foolhardy. Was it emotional or was it call it whatever. But I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to lay blame on him for the situation with his brother. Vaughn, see, you fucked it, you got involved in a karma, you know what I'm saying, that had nothing to do with you. Like I said, Vaughn got what he got. And I do think they set that up, man. They set that shit up. They knew Vaughn, from what I understand, man, they knew Vaughn wasn't strapped. They knew what type of time Vaughn was on. As soon as he saw Quan, they set that up like that. But, woo-woo. Like I said, man, Vaughn got it. As I mentioned before, it's certain you gotta pick and choose your wars out here. You can't get back for every situation in the streets that happen, man. It's some shit you gotta put on the chalkboard. Cause if you trying to go to war and beef with niggas over you will not last. You're gonna be dead. You're gonna be locked the fuck up. That's all to it. All this super gangster shit that these niggas trying to portray on the end, that is not what the streets really. It's times where you take L's. Ain't no real gangster in the streets. Ain't no real street nigga out here that ain't took a L. And it's a nigga around that's walking around breathing that know you took that L. And it be like that sometimes, man. But pride and ego. Just like when America went into Vietnam and we was getting our ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? Outmaneuvered, out-strategized. From a military standpoint, military intelligence painting the whole picture. But our military refusing to pull out of there. Why? Pride. ego. Even though it was evident that we was not going to win that war, sometimes you got to know when to walk the fuck away. Now, like I said, the situation with his brother is what it is, but they bringing that shit up after the fact, man. That shit been out there, but they bringing that shit. They just trying to add that on to, to increase, to further portray him as a killer. I'm saying in this trial, they don't have no evidence about that D-Thing situation. So, snitches or not. So you got Jam now coming. It's a lot of niggas on the internet talking about this situation. Like, if you didn't snitch on, why is you even on the internet talking about it though, for real? You know what I'm saying? Like, you trying so hard to convince people and that's the new game. Niggas get on the internet and they would tarnish your image or clout your image up. You know what I'm saying? And it's now the culture is whatever's on the internet. The more people that's running with a narrative, it becomes truth. It's not even a situation where it's like, we just take that shit as fact now. Durk is not no fucking leader, man. OTF is not BD. You know what I'm saying? He's the leader of OTF, which is some rap artists / goofies, man. I'm saying these niggas, obviously, they goofies. I want to know who used the credit card. Who used the credit card to get them rooms? So if you a leader, which they paint Durk as the face, the leader, which they always do. Let me explain something, man. And I said this before. Just because you got the biggest bag in a clique don't mean you the leader. And that's the problem with niggas now. They think whoever got the most money, that's the nigga that obviously, that doesn't mean that intellectually, you know what I'm saying? Durk is not the leader, bro. Because if he was a true leader and they respected him as such, first of all, why would you have to text a nigga? Why would you text a nigga, don't use no credit card, don't company cars in my name to book no hotels for that? He didn't say for that, but, the timeline they putting it together. Why would you have to say that, though? That should be common knowledge, first of all. But secondly, they did it anyway. The niggas did it anyway. So how y'all make that mistake, man? That's not a small oversight. So your so-called leader, the big dog, said he specifically said don't use no card with my name on it. I don't want nothing coming, and you do it anyway? These niggas went and bought ski masks with the card. Like, they wanted this to come back to Durk. I want to know, I don't know this. Can somebody tell me this? Who used the card? Who set up who bought the hotel, like who purchased the hotel rooms with the card? Because I'm looking at them like they backdoored Durk. They wanted this shit to come back on Durk. Why would you do that? Now, I know these niggas ain't I don't care how much money you have, man. I'm telling you, the average street nigga is not that smart. They just not, man. I know from experience. It's a few that, most street niggas is just not that smart. They think they smart. They be clever and cunning, but not that smart. But this is stupid beyond stupid. Ain't no way you can tell me somebody didn't purposely make sure this paper trail led back to Durk. I'm going to get the bag off Durk and I'm going to get this nigga up out of here. This is the way it looked to me, man. Because why would you do that? He specifically, now this is the boss, so-called boss. I'm telling you, these niggas ain't no structure, no hierarchy in these games, man. So typically what happened, the nigga with the biggest bag will get the most, you know what I'm saying? He will have the most influence on the niggas around him. But that don't mean he the leader. That don't mean they respect him as such, So That right there to me just stand out as. Now they're already saying it's a snitch in the camp. I believe the snitch and whoever got these rooms is the same person. I believe the informant is the one who set up this whole shit. Got the rooms, got the car, got the ski mat, all that shit. Why would you use that card, man? So, if he had let that shit go with Vaughn, he wouldn't be in this situation. You fucked your karma over, you know? Because you got involved in a situation with fate, man. That was Vaughn's fate. And it played out how it played out. Now, you come behind the fact, you know? And that's why I say you got to learn what situations to move on from, man. Because if you don't figure that shit out, you will never make it out the streets. I don't know how this nigga made it this far. I don't. But a lot of times what happens when regular street niggas, you know, who be staying put up, you know how it is. When you got ops, you know, niggas be put up. Don't listen to what they saying on these records. Niggas be put up. You know what I'm saying? You get a bag and all of a sudden you think you above, you know, you above all that shit now. Now you the boss, you a big dog, and you could call shots, you know. And that's why I say, man, you give a average street nigga a bag and he gonna crash out. It's not gonna save his life. And y'all see, time and time again, that's what happens. These street niggas that's fucking with the music industry get the bag and they don't elevate themselves from very few, 1% of these niggas. But most of them, they are going to crash out because a bag is not going to change your mentality. It's going to turn you up, like I said before. But it is. But I thought Durk was smarter than this shit, man. I ain't talking about what he was saying in the lyrics on the songs. I'm talking about, why would you text a nigga? Why is y'all texting each other about this? See, this is a whole new generation, man. The streets and the internet really intertwine now. And what you gonna keep seeing is situations like this. These niggas cannot separate the internet from the streets. And by that I mean, keep what's in the streets in the streets. What happened to that? You know, now if you're gonna go on record and drop little subliminals and yeah, I understand that, but so this nigga fucked his own karma over. And that's that, man. So like I said, had he just walked away from this shit, he would be straight. I still think it's a good chance he could beat this case. When they start talking about using lyrics, in my mind, that automatically made me feel like it's not a solid case. Physical evidence, that's what I'm talking about. Direct physical evidence. If you have to use lyrics, I don't give a damn about no lyrics. Why would you have to introduce lyrics? If you have direct physical evidence, and that's what they use in a court of law for decades and centuries, now all of a sudden we introducing lyrics. This is a weak case, man. And he might be able to slip up out of this shit. Obviously, we don't know who's a snitch. Somebody's snitching. I believe whoever set this play up. And that's the thing with niggas out that get a bag and all of a sudden want to play boss. You got some niggas around you think solid and you can trust. You leave shit to them. You doing what you do as a rap star. And your niggas in the trenches doing what they do. You have to put your full total trust in that. That the decisions they making, are not dummy moves. That they on point. And that's why is doomed to failure. Because like I said, the average street nigga just is not that smart. And I'm not talking about bright. There's plenty of niggas in the streets that could do other things. But a lot of these niggas just cannot calculate, man. They have no foresight. If I do this, it's 100 things that could possibly happen if I do this. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, and then the fallout is what it is. But in this case, you did not have to do that. That's what I'm saying. You fucked your own karma, bruh. Because the D thing situation, I could see you fuck the money, fuck the fame, fuck everything. I got to move on that. And you were straight. But you jumped out your body, man. Your ego, your pride made you jump out your body over this Von situation when Von got what he had coming to him. I understand y'all niggas and y'all wasn't day ones. Y'all not brothers. These niggas was not that close like that. For you to do all this behind that Von situation, this was about ego. It was the fact that Quando Rondo's still out here. You know what I'm saying? Lil Tim, these niggas still out here. They making songs. They running their mouth. They talking on the internet. Woo woo. And you just you couldn't live with that. And to me, that's weakness. That's weakness. You cannot allow your enemies to manipulate your emotions, manipulate your mind frame, and choose you to move. Because I believe they set that Von play up, man. You know. But like I said, there very well probably is a snitch involved in this case. If it ain't no snitching, Durk is going to walk on this, flat out. If they don't have an informant like they've been saying, this wiretap shit, he's going to walk on this. But the ego, man. Because he didn't have to. You're gonna sit here and now you could say, well, but it all still come back to ego, my reputation, my image. He could have just moved on past this shit, went on. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, his ego, man, it wouldn't let him take that L. And you niggas in the streets, y'all know you're going to take L's. Sometimes you get robbed. Sometimes you get jumped. You get shot. Sometimes you don't get that get back. But you keep it pushing, man. You can't destroy you can't tear down your whole, everything that you've built. You can't tear all that shit down over ego and over pride. Because this get back was not necessary. The hell with people saying, oh, Von, you ain't slide for Von, this, that, and the other. Man, Von was an artist he signed that was on his label and they fucked around with each other. They was cool, but it wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm saying, once you introduce the gang shit to any form of your life, it's not going to work, man. With the music industry, none of this shit. They gonna profit off of it as much as they can. The record labels, the execs, they gonna make as much money as they can. This shit is a dummy mission. This drill scene, all this shit is a dummy mission. It's a trap. It's inherently set up. You niggas cannot see that. The labels, they gonna make money regardless. The feds, they gonna make cases regardless. This shit it's all a trap. But like I said, man, this nigga set the trap for himself because he made it out. You made it out, but your ego wouldn't let you let this shit go. So all this shit people talking about, listen, man, they had nothing. I'm not convinced they have anything now, to be honest. So, like I said, man, they calling him the leader by default because he the nigga with the bag. He's the most well-known artist in OTF. So we know the play on this shit, man. They don't have no evidence if these niggas keep their mouth shut. They don't have nothing on Durk. He gonna beat this case. I know it don't seem that way now. Durk is gonna beat this case. But moving forward, man, ain't no OTF, nigga. Ain't no family. That's what you niggas need to understand. And I'm gonna keep saying this shit until the day I die, man. The gang is gonna turn on you every time. Every time. I don't care who you are, how much status you have, how much of a big dog you are. At some point in time, the gang gonna turn on you. Any nigga that been in these streets and fucking around with this gang shit long enough, know if you do not go rogue, renegade, solo dolo, at some point the gang will be your downfall. They gonna turn on you, niggas gonna rat on you, they gonna kill you, they gonna rob you, they gonna fuck your baby mama, all that type of shit. You know? So ain't no friend, ain't no only the family. Ain't no family in this shit, man. It's just a bunch of niggas that's around each other, man. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of savages, you know, that share the same, you know, we waving the same flag, but ain't nobody for nobody in this shit. So, and I don't believe Durk give a fuck about them. Like I said, he just used them niggas, you know, like chess pieces. But at the end of the day, if you gonna be a boss and you gonna make moves, you need to make sure that the utensils that you are utilizing are sufficient to get the job done. If you $1 million nigga, you can't go back to the hood and get a crash out hitter to handle shit like this no more. That's over, nigga. That's back in the day when we was, you know what I'm saying? Fucked up type shit. Just get it done how we get it done. You gotta move so much. It's all water under the bridge now. But like I said, man, I would not be surprised at all 2-3 years from now, this nigga walking up out of there. Time served. It is what it is, man. 216 Skano. You already know.